Chapter 9, Where the Mind is Without Fear. Learning Objectives. 1. Beyond hardships lies a huge world of happiness and peace. 2. Being brave and trying new things even when scared. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. My father, let my country awake. Rabindranath Tagore. Find meaning. Fragments, small parts. Striving, efforts. The, you, Old English. Domestic walls, personal interest. Stretches, extends. Stream, small river. Depth of truth, inner heart. Dreary, lifeless. Rabindranath Tagore, 1861 to 1941, is regarded as one of the greatest writers in modern Indian literature. He is a Bengali poet, novelist and educator. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. Tagore was awarded the knighthood in 1915. This is a patriotic poem written by Rabindranath Tagore. In the poem, the poet describes how the country and its people of his dream should have been. Exercise time. Answer the following questions. 1. Can you name the literary work of Rabindranath Tagore that brought him the Nobel Prize in 1913? Answer. Poet Rabindranath Tagore won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his collection Gitanjali, published in London in 1912. 2. What does the poet mean by the narrow domestic walls? Answer. In this poem, the poet meant by the line narrow domestic walls that he thinks there should be no division among people based on their caste, creed, color, religion, or other baseless superstitions. In other words, prejudices and superstitions should not divide people into groups and break their unity. Number 3. Where knowledge is free, how to best use knowledge for highest good? Answer. In the second line of Where the Mind is Without Fear, the poet dreams of a nation where the knowledge would be free. Education should not be restricted to the upper class only, but everybody should be allowed to acquire knowledge. Not only that, the children should learn freely from nature and the world around them. They should not be forced to memorize some predetermined lessons. Number 4. Can you realize what the poet wants to say? Is knowledge being captured by anybody? Explain the meaning briefly. Answer. The poem was written when India was under British rule and people were eagerly waiting to get their freedom from British rule. The poem is written in the form of a prayer to God, the Almighty, for true freedom for his country. And thus, Tagore reveals his own concept of freedom throughout the poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear. 5. In which line of the poem the poet has wished the prejudices and superstitions should not divide the people in groups and break their unity? Answer. In this line, where the world has not been broken up into fragments, the poet wishes that prejudices and superstitions should not divide people into groups and break their unity. 6. Where words come out from depth of truth, explain the line. Answer. In this line, Tagore wants a nation where people are truthful, they should not be superficial, and words should come out from the depth of their hearts. Find their meaning. 1. Perfection, faultless. 2. Heaven of freedom, the condition of total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good deeds while respecting those of others. Number 3. Fragments, forever broadening. Number 4. Tireless, continuous efforts and struggle. Fill in the blanks. 1. The poem Where the Mind is Without Fear is written by Rabindranath Tagore. 2. The theme of the poem is freedom from British rule. 3. According to the poem, we see that the poet is expressing his views. There should be a country like where people live without any sort of fear and with pure dignity. 4. The poet dreamt of a country, India as a country. Take the right options. 1. The poet wants the dash to be free. 1. Indians. 2. Country. 3. Knowledge. Answer 2. Country. 2. The poet is sad to see the situation of his 1. Knowledge. 2. Boundaries. 3. Countrymen. Answer 3. Countrymen. 3. The poet does not want the superstitions to divide and break the people's 1. Mind. 2. Fear. 3. Unity. Answer 3. Unity. Match the following. Column A, column B. 1. Knowledge, ignorance. 2. High, law. 3. Narrow, wide. 4. Dead, alive. 5. Heaven, hell. Communication, writing skills. What should be the ideal condition of our country and countrymen? Write a short note on it. Do it yourself. Reading skills. Read the sentences. Write yes or no for the following statements. 1. The poem Where the Mind is Without Fear is written by R.N. Tagore. True. 2. The poet does not want the knowledge to be free. False. 3. The poet is sad to see the condition of his country and countrymen. True. 4. The poet wants the prejudices and superstitions should be divide the people in groups and break their unity. False. 5. The poet prays to God to awake his country. True. Listening and speaking skills. Listen to the last line of the poem. Think and answer. In the last line of the poet has used the word father. For whom do you think the poet has used this? Discuss the meaning of the last line of the poem with your friends.